I need a picture. I'm freaking out. How do I freak out, Maya?
I don't know, get scared.
Don't do that.
It didn't work. I tried to scare you.
Hello, Becky Duff here. Welcome back to my channel. I am here to do the mid-year book freakout tag. It is that time of year again already. It is very hard to believe that we are already halfway through this year, but here we are. I am doing this video a couple of days early. Today is June 26th because on the 29th we are leaving for 15 days. So my goal is to have this video recorded and edited and uploaded. I'm planning it for July 1st, hopefully. We're gonna be gone for 15 days and I have no way of editing and uploading videos. I could just record on my phone and straight up edit or straight up upload to YouTube. I could try doing editing, but I wouldn't like it. So I am just hoping to have a few backlog videos to share with you while I am gone. I am not very consistent at uploading anyway, so no one will even notice if I don't upload, but this one at least will be going out for July 1st. So I am taking the questions that Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and he has added a few extra questions in there. I don't have answers for all of them, but here we go. I will answer what I can. The first question is, how has your 2023 reading year gone so far? So this quarter, I have read 26 books. I think I'm on 49 books or something for the whole year. And according to Storygraph, I am ahead by 6 books. I did do a quarterly wrap-up update video at the end of March, or at the end of April. It was like a 1/3 wrap-up. But April, May, June, I have read 26 books, and I have one more book. I'll probably finish 2 more books by the end of this month. One is a very short audiobook, and I have like 3 hours left of it. And then I am reading Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I don't know if I'll finish it, but I'm hoping to. It's a pretty quick and easy read, so we'll see what I have time for. My reading year has been fine. I haven't read very many terrible books, but I also have been DNFing like crazy the last like 2 years. If I don't like a book within the first, 30 pages, I'm DNFing it. So I'm not really reading books I don't like. And I'm not forcing myself to read series like Gavin does that are like 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 books of terrible writing or terrible plot or whatever. So my reading year has been fine. I mention this like every time I do this tag and talk about books and what I've been reading. My mental capacity is just shot lately. I am exhausted. I have 4 kids. I don't know what is going on in my brain. And the fact that I can read at all is amazing. And my Goodreads goal literally should be like 12 books a year or maybe 24 books a year. 1 fiction book, 1 nonfiction book a month, because I don't have words to talk about it. I can't remember any of the books I read. The question on here is like the second question, or the first normal question for most people doing this tag, is what is the best book you've read so far this year? And my brain does a complete blank. I was at church yesterday, and pastor's daughter, she works at the library, and she was asking me, what are you reading right now? And I'm like, I'm reading, I don't know. And I was like, oh, Love and Other Words, because I usually have like 5 books on the go, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know which one to talk about, but that's kind of the one I'm focusing on right now. Sometimes I feel like I come on and I watch BookTube and people are on there gushing about their favorite books, and they're like, this is amazing, I loved it, this tore me to shreds, this evoked some kind of emotion, whether it's happiness or sadness or anger, even if it's a book you didn't like or the characters made you really angry, it made you feel something so deeply and vividly and just caused an emotional reaction, or just beautiful writing, or just a story that impacted you so much. And I can barely remember what I read last week. I can't remember what I'm reading right now, let alone a book that's impacted me so greatly. And I think that's one thing I'm missing in my reading lately, is connecting with books. I'm reading a lot of books. My goal is 75 books this year. I usually do more than 75. These numbers are meaningless. It doesn't matter how many books you read a year. We all talk about that. If you read 1 book, 10 books, 12 books, 100 books, 300 books, it doesn't matter. Your reading is valid. And the books you're reading, that's great. I hope they're good for you. Even if you're reading 1 book a year, may it be the best book ever for you, because, at least you'd put your time into something that was worthwhile. yeah, for me, it's probably just the stage of life I'm in right now. But I've read 26 books this quarter, and my reading year so far, the past 6 months, has been good. I don't rate a lot of books. I liked it or I didn't. It was an obvious 5 stars or it wasn't kind of thing. Unless it's an obvious like 1 star or 5 star, I kind of just leave it as is and just tell you about what I liked about it or didn't like about it. So my goal is to just try and remember what I'm reading. I have a review journal that my husband bought me for my birthday last year. It's a dated journal for 2023, and my goal is to write down reviews of the books I am reading so I can go back and remember more. Hi.
Hi. Monday's not coming, but today is Monday. It says Monday's not coming, but today's Monday.
Today is Monday, and I have read this book. Monday is her name. Weird name, hey? Different. I shouldn't say weird. That's mean. But it's a different name. You usually hear months, not days of the week.
Yeah, I like
You like the name May, right?
Yeah, in June and August.
If I had a daughter named May, I would spell it M-A-E. Because if I spelled it M-A-Y, it'd be too confusing because your name is M-Y-A.
Oh, yeah.
What if we had 2 daughters, both starting with the word M and 3 letters long? That'd be weird. May and Maya. Okay, Maya, you interrupted me. What question was I on? I was on question 1.
No,
Okay, question number 2. What is the best book you've read so far this year? So I had to go back on my story graph and look at all the books I've read this year and remind my brain what I've read and what I enjoyed. So the first book I started and completed in 2023 was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and I thought that was a really good memoir, which is a weird thing to say that I enjoyed a book like that. My daughter kindly said she's the opposite of that book, so thank you, Maya, for that. She's glad her mom is alive.
Yay!
I also read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Really enjoyed that one. That is a romance story about a woman who is the bodyguard and is a bodyguard to this guy. I don't remember names. I can't even remember the books I read. So he is an actor who's been out of the spotlight for a few years after the tragic death of his brother. And his mom is going through a health crisis thing and he has to go back home to visit her. His agent believes that he needs a bodyguard because he has a stalker. He doesn't think he needs one. The agent hires this agency that provides bodyguards that don't look like obvious bodyguards because you don't always want it to be obvious that you have somebody watching your back for you. So her cover is that she is his girlfriend and they're going to the farm together to spend time with the family, and there's some family drama. There's some past things to work through. It's not just a romance novel. I like that with romance when it's not just solely focused on the romance, but that the characters are growing and maturing and working through things as well. And that one made me laugh, audibly laugh. I really enjoyed it. I also really liked The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana, and it's kind of like a cozy fantasy magical book. It's our world, but there are witches, but they cannot be known because people will not like them or use them for their own gain or outright reject them and hate them and want to burn them at the stake kind of idea. So there is this home that has 3 young witches in it and no one knows they're there except the people working at the home, and they see Mika online doing Instagram things and she's pretending to be a witch, and this guy watching the video is like, she's really a witch, and this guy contacts her and he's like, I know you're really a witch. We need a witch to come and train these young witches, these little girls. They really need a mentor, a trainer, another adult witch to show them the ropes. Anyways, it has found family, and I have learned that I really, really like that one. And I really liked the conversations that came up in Watch Us Rise by Ellen Hagen and Renee Watson. All of those authors of these favorite books so far of the year are new to me authors. Watch Us Rise, I really liked the conversations that were brought up in that one. It takes place in high school. It's very much like feminist conversations that are happening and women's voices being heard in the school and women's rights and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. Number 3, best sequel you've read so far in 2023. I started Spy Family last year and read the first 2 volumes, and so far I've read the 3rd volume this year. It's cute, it's funny, it's the first manga I've really gotten into. That is a story about this guy who is a spy, and he needs to infiltrate this school, this private school, so he needs a child to do that and a wife And so he has like this fake family that he had to go like adopt this girl, and he just like marries this woman and gets the daughter into this school so that he can get access to this guy whose son is in the school. Everyone's talking about Spy Family. If you watch BookTube and they read manga, people are talking about Spy Family. So that is definitely one of the best sequels, and I'm reading the fourth one for Summerween in July. Summerween takes place July 7th to the 13th, and that is on Gabby Reed's channel. I'll link that down below if you want to join in. You still have time to participate in that. And one of the prompts is to read a manga. Spy Family is not very scary or summery or Halloweeny, but it works for the manga prompt, and I am traveling that entire time that Summerween is on, so it'll be a quick and easy read for me to do. Also, Beyond Reach by Karen Slaughter. I had it somewhere. Beyond Reach by Karen Slaughter is the final book in the Grant County series. Okay, there is a question on here, number 10, a book that made you cry. I left it blank because I don't think I've cried at a single book yet this year. But that one, if I was going to cry at a book, the ending of Beyond Reach, I should have been bawling, honestly. It shook me. It was a shock. Like, the ending was a twist I did not see coming. It was a shock. It's the end of the series. It's devastating. Number 4, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Happy Place by Emily Henry, because I still haven't read Book Lovers despite buying it like the weekend it released last year. I still haven't read it. And I want to read Book Lovers. No, get out of the screen before reading Happy Place. Okay, new release you haven't read yet but want to. So I think this one is just coming out, but the only one left by Riley Sager is the July pick for the Literally Dead book club. Cat needs his nails cut. He's getting stuck to everything. Every time Kayla does a Riley Sager for the book club, I don't get to read it because the wait for it is so long. So this time when she announced the book club pick for July being the new Riley Sager book, I put it on hold like right then before the book even came out. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that in July. We will see. And then I also have The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest, is one that sounded so cute. It's a romance book and I have not gotten to it yet. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I had to Google it because I don't keep up with what is being released. Besides other people's videos talking about upcoming releases, I have no idea what's releasing. So I was researching it, and Catherine Center, who did The Bodyguard, has a new book coming out July 11th called Hello Stranger. So I guess I'm looking forward to that one because I loved The Bodyguard so much, but that's the only book of hers I have read so far. So I will have to read more and see if I like her as an author or if it was just that one book or not. Biggest disappointment of 2023 so far. So I bought a book for my friend for her birthday called The Murder at the Book Club by Betsy Revely, and I bought her that book, and then I happened to get it off a Scribd for myself to read it, and she really enjoyed it, so I am glad for that. And it wasn't a bad book, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be. It was a little bit confusing because I don't know if it's second person, but there was no like one point of view. There was no main character. Just, it was always flowing through whose mind you were in and whose thoughts you were getting. So it was a little bit confusing that way because there was quite a lot of characters and we're like, okay, who's married to who? Who's this person's ex? And who's pregnant with whose child? And it was kind of confusing. I'm going to say that was my biggest disappointment. Not that it was a bad book. It was just kind of confusing and a little all over the place and hard to follow. But my friend really liked it and was looking up other books that author has written. So I'm glad it was a success for her because I paid money for that book for her to have and it was a gift for her. So that's a positive that came out of it. So number 7, biggest surprise of 2023 so far. I wrote down 3 graphic novels that my daughter read first and then I read them. So they are like middle grade graphic novels. And as I'm always saying, middle grade hits different. It's very powerful, and these graphic novels are beautifully done, well illustrated, beautiful artwork, and good, powerful stories. There is The Secret Garden on 81st Street, so it's a retelling of The Secret Garden. That one deals with grief and loss and debilitating anxiety. There is Pilo of the Woods, which also deals with grief and the loss of a mother and feelings of loneliness. And Go with the Flow, which is a book about periods. So a very important read, especially if your children are just pre-puberty, pre-pubescent. It's a really good read for them to help prepare them for puberty and periods. New favorite author. So this could be new to you or a debut author. I put down Catherine Center because I really enjoyed her book. There was also Julia Bartz, who wrote The Writing Retreat, which I read for the Literally Dead book club. It was interesting. It was fast-paced. It was unhinged at the end. It was just wild, but definitely something to look out for in the future. And I think her sister is writing a book that's being released. And I'll put a picture here of it. I think Gabby was talking about that one. The Writing Retreat wasn't like the best read ever. I enjoyed it. It'd probably be like more like a 3.5 to a 4-star read. It was a little wild, but it's definitely an author I want to keep up with and just look out for what she's got coming in the future. And then keeping up with Catherine Center as well. Newest fictional crush, I'm going to go with Elliot from Love and Other Words. I have not done the book yet. I don't even think I'm quite halfway through the book yet. I'm about 140-ish pages. I think last time I looked at the page count, it was like 132 or something. So I'm around 140-ish pages through the book so far, and Elliot is just the sweetest, perfect boyfriend ever. It's jumping between two timelines. The present time when they're 28, 29 years old, and the past when they're like 13, 14 years old. And I don't know how at that age he was so sensitive and mature and like the perfect boy friend, not boyfriend, but the perfect best friend. And she says like, Elliot is my person. Elliot is everything to me. He was my first everything. Not just boyfriend, but just everything. He was my person. And I just love that. I love that idea of just, he's my person. And it's so precious and so sweet. And I don't know how he acted like that, but he's a fictional character. And that's why he's a fictional crush for me. And it's not creepy because he's not 14 in the present timeline. He's 29. My cat just like leapt off the stairs and chased something down the hallway. That's my fictional crush. Book that made you cry. I don't have one so far this year. I'll let you know if that happens by the end of the year. There's usually like at least one book a year that makes me cry. So we'll see. Book you saw on TikTok and regret reading. That was a question that Gavin added to this tag. And I don't pick books off of TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. But I do want to plan a TikTok like chooses my TBR. So we will see. We'll come back to that question as well. I don't have one. And I don't even have a book that I read because of the hype. Maybe the Writing Retreat. But I know like Fourth Wing is huge right now. I haven't read that one yet. So nothing like that yet. So we'll see. Number 12, most beautiful book you bought this year. I have bought a lot of books, but I can't think. Leo, he's rubbing his face up against the tripod. I can't think of like the most beautiful book I bought. I got this book, Diana Gabaldon, Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone. This book is okay. There's nothing like special about it. The hardcover is just nothing really. It's just blue. But if you like bees, but it's not like the most beautiful book of all time. And I also bought, that was 50 cents from my library. And then I got this one for $2 because it's hardback from Goodwill. But Ducks, also being a graphic novel. Again, it's not the most beautiful book, but it is illustrated. And the end pages are really pretty. Oh, the duck on the thing is like a foil. So that's cool. So other than that, it's just yellow. But if you like yellow, it's a nice yellow. And I do like the foil. Is really cool. What are the books you need to read by the end of the year? So I have Hamnet and Judith on there, which is about Shakespeare's wife and son, I think, mostly. Book Lovers by Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Oh, that's sitting on my puzzle. Stop it. And then Happy Place by Emily Henry. And I want to get to Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby, which is right behind you there. Dude. What are you doing? He's hungry. It's past his supper time now. A favorite video you've made so far in 2023? This is another added question. I have a couple videos on there. I did 30 pages a day reading challenge, which was just meant to be kind of in response to all those reading challenges people put out there where they read 100 to 200 pages a day. And I'm like, for me, that's just not realistic. And I wanted to focus on physical reading, not audiobook reading in that vlog. What are you doing? Dude! Jeez, I'm always blaming the kids for wrecking my space down here, but catching this guy red-handed. I always say this, audiobook 100% count as reading, but for me doing those challenges, it is about physically reading the books on my shelf that I don't have access to an audiobook for. So I really enjoyed doing that 30 pages a day challenge. Was really good. I also did the newly read book tag, which is a book tag by Sid from the Bookworm, and I recorded that video before Christmas and posted it May 15th on my wedding anniversary. So I was a little bit behind in it, but that's the one I posted this year, and that was really fun and a good time with my husband. So check out that video and check out Sid's video. She is the creator of the tag, and her husband are just adorable. Definitely check out her video as well. And I have one showcasing all my beautiful bookmarks. I have a serious problem and collect bookmarks like they're going out of style. I don't know. I want to say I don't have enough books to put them all in, but I do. I have more than enough books to put them all into, but I love them. And it's just a video showing off my bookmarks. It's not even my face. It's just me showing bookmarks and talking. And then I did a Mother's Day, just sit down and shout out to moms out there. And I really enjoyed doing that video. I thought that was a really well done and sweet video. And got some good comments back from my mom and my friend and stuff from that video. And then a video you thought would flop but did well. None of my videos do well, really. I don't get a lot of engagement, not a lot of comments or likes or anything like that, but I literally just posted the other day a cleaning video with me and it got 30 views, and that's one of the highest viewed ones. I think the Mother's Day one might have been 36. No, it was an Edmonton vlog I did that got 36 views, but like no comments on any of my stuff. So that's the best video so far. I didn't necessarily think it would flop, but it's not a booktube specific one. It's just me cleaning and doing like a voiceover and just like clean with me and have motivation to clean. Any upcoming videos you're excited to make? I do have a couple. Hopefully I can get to them. I don't have a lot of time to read physical books, and like I said, we're traveling and out of town for 15 days, so it'll be hard to do a lot of videos in July. We're traveling to BC to visit my family, so I have a couple of vlogs I'll want to do during that time. I'll probably do 3 videos during that time. We'll see. But I want to do just a general traveling video for that. And that will be a nice way of like documenting our time as a family and the trip. Book shopping specific video in that one. Or maybe even just a shopping video, because there's a few places I want to go to. There's a kids store there that I want to go to that has a lot of like natural toys like made out of wood and stuff, and not just like cheap plastic toys that I really want to go to. So maybe like a book shopping / just shopping video. And then summer read is also happening during that time, so I'm hoping to vlog the books I'm reading during that time. I have unicorn books. I plan on spending a week just reading like a unicorn. 90s week this summer. Me and my kids and my husband are going to be doing all things 90s, so look out for that one. That one's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for that one. I'm going to be reading Basset Hound books in August in honor of and remembrance of our Basset Hound, Maribel, and I'm very excited about that. I've been collecting the books for a while. I had planned on reading them with my Basset Hound, but sadly she passed away before I could get to the books, so it is in honor of her. And I'm also going to be doing a Friends reading vlog at some point where I read books like Matthew Perry's book, which is another book that I have to read by the end of the year. And I have a Generation Friends book in here somewhere, and a few other just Friends books I need to read. The last question that is on here is any channel goals before the end of the year. And I would like, and this would be stretching it a lot, this would be like a huge bump for me, I would love to get to 100 subscribers. So if you're not already subscribed and you like this channel and or you like this video and you're okay with the chaos of kids and the cat and stuff, please consider subscribing. Sharing my videos would be great if you could retweet it or share it wherever. Leave a comment down below and let me know how your 2023 reading year has been so far and what are your favorite books or flops of the year so far. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye!